Second, guys, be starting in just a minute. Just gotta fix this mic, and we'll be good. Okay, there we go. So we should be good now. What's going on, Mitch Promo? What's going on, guys? Just doing a quick AMA. You can come up and ask questions. I don't really have any new information other than I talked to Mark from the last AMA, and he was saying something about being rewarded in tokens and XUSD, and I put some thought into it. And if you reward in tokens, we're talking about the unstaking fees. If you do it in tokens, that like alleviates the sell pressure because it's instead of it being sold into XUSD and then pushed to the 12-month event, then so it would be good for like the short term, but not as good for the long term because those tokens could be devalued, so they wouldn't be as valuable, and that'll be tokens that'll be going to people that are probably about to sell for the control event. And so with those two ideas combined, I decided that it should all be XUSD. It should all be preserved value. So all of the unstaking fees are going to be in XUSD. I'm totally cool with the sell pressure. I don't see it as being a problem. And if people are looking for good entry points, then sells will be good for that. As far as the launch, Mark is pretty much like super. He doesn't respond on the weekends because he needs a break from what he's doing. He is going to give me his numbers so that in case an emergency happens, I can call him or whatever. So we talked about aiming for this week. The only other thing that might push us back is the audit. He submitted this to another company for another audit just to make sure. And so as long as that doesn't come back super expensive, we're going to do that. And so it might be towards the end of this week. It's possible it could get pushed back another week depending on that audit. Other than that, we should be good to go. The staking, the website, the contract, everything should be good. When it comes to that last space we did with Mark, it was a good space, and I really like where Mark was coming from in terms of the utility and stuff like that. It's just that that's not what Control Token is, and so I put some thought into this, and I was kind of looking at it for a bit, and it's definitely. Control Token is the idea. It's purely the idea, and it's sufficient in itself. We don't need to desperately add things to it to try to make it better, to try to do that. I know most cryptos, typically they're like, oh, we got to add this utility, we got to add that, and it's just this desperateness to try to add value to a project. Control Token has this, unique feature where we're storing up real value in the future, and that's why I don't feel like it's not really a tax. It's just instead of that value going into the LP, the value is being preserved and going into the future to the stakers. It's not a tax. It's just not going, instead of it going to the pyramid structure that usually only benefits people at the top, it's going towards the stakers that keep the project alive over a long period of time, and it creates a sense of confidence in the future of the project, that there's real value, and not only do you yourself know that you have real value in the future, but that everybody else does, and that as people leave, they shift even more value into the future through forfeiting it and through paying the unstaking fees and the sell fees into those rewards. So Control Token it's sufficient in what it is, and that's the message we got to keep spreading. As the project grows, as we do well, I'll just be communicating with you guys on a daily basis. Here's where we're at. Here's what we need to do. That's all it's ever going to be. Here's where we're at. This is what we need to do. Really, the two efforts we have is what you do with your tokens. If everyone's selling, then obviously that's not good for the growth of the project. But in this project, we have the ability to more likely recover from a sell-off because they shift a bunch of value into the future, and you have a bunch of people in this project who believe in the long-term growth of the future, where they're probably willing to buy those dips. So and people that are getting into the project are probably going to feel that way. But just remember that the control that you guys have. I don't control the future of this project. You know what I mean? I have some control over it in the terms that I'm the creator, that I determine the marketing. I can determine utilities and stuff, and I have control with the tokens I got. But I'm a small fry compared to some of the guys that came in and dropped like 60 grand. But it's super important for you guys for us to realize and to communicate. I think communication is a big thing. If the team's not talking to you, you don't know what's going on. They're silent. You're not sure what's happening. I'll be just communicating with you guys on the daily content, on the daily spaces. I'm holding back right now on what it is that I would do. Typically, with like if we were live right now, it would be content every day. It would be post every day. It would be spaces every day. It'd be like, let's push that message. You guys saw what I was doing with the pre-sale. I was pushing that really hard until we got to a point where people were like, wait a second, the more it goes up, the less tokens we get. And so I really pulled back on pushing the pre-sale. I could have pushed it a lot harder, and we probably could have went on a little bit longer and filled the pre-sale if we wanted, but we found that medium ground to balance it. But yeah, I think this can do really well just by communication. It's all about communication. It's all about narrative. It's all about psychology. I want this project to do really well for you guys. I want it to do well. My family's in this. I want it to do well for them. I want it to do well for myself. And in order for that to happen, we all have to realize what it's going to take to get there. And it could just be, I've thought about this, like, what if I died? And it was just up to the community and whoever's left to make this project work. And maybe death isn't the best option, but what if something happened to me and I couldn't market, I couldn't communicate, I couldn't do anything? How well would this project do with the idea that it has? And I think that it has that potential to do really well without marketing, without me marketing it. And so the reason I was thinking that, and I don't really want to talk about this, but I don't know about you guys, but I have health issues and I don't know what they are. I've done all kinds of tests. I've done stress tests. I've done EKGs. This was years ago. I probably need to try again, but I have chest pain. I've got a lot of pain in my left arm. My arm gets tingly. It gets numb. I have this thing where I have pain go up the right side of my neck and it gets to my eye, and then it makes me have acid reflux and nauseous, and it's very painful. And so it's like there's something wrong with me and I can't figure out what it is. So sometimes it just kind of, I can't do much when that happens. And other times it makes me feel like if it just keeps getting worse, like how much longer can it get worse before I have a heart attack or something bad happens? You know what I mean? That being said, I think I don't feel like it's an impending doom happening anytime soon. But you just never know. Some people, some people get conditions, autoimmune disease and stuff like that. So trying to go carnivore, trying to go keto, and that kind of seems to help. And a lot of it does seem kind of related to the stomach. But I'm just communicating this to you guys just to be open with you guys that sometimes I might not be there, and it's possible that something something might happen to me one day. But I could put in a backup plan in case I thought we were really close to that. Some days I feel great. Other days it's just pain in my chest, my left arm, pain going down my left leg, all these signs that you would think of being a heart attack or something. And so I can't tell if it's just happenstance or if it's just something that's slowly eventually going to lead up into something. And I'm just communicating that to you guys so that what's going on. I see no reason not to be transparent with everybody. However, I don't plan on, I'm trying to start a family and take care of my wife. So my plan is I've been fasting. I've been doing a lot of fasting, and I've been doing, cutting out sugar and carbs, a lot of sugar and carbs. I've been cutting out soda, and I'm just trying to get on this diet of fasting and meat and maybe some veggies that are essential for your body. And hopefully I can get back to just feeling good and being 100%, because the more energy I have, the more I'm going to push this. And I just want to communicate that to you guys so you guys know where my health is at. But that in no way I don't think would affect the project, because like I said, the project's basically in your guys' hands. Whoever has, everybody who holds tokens controls the sentiment of the project. What you do with your tokens controls the future of this project. Whether you hold them, whether you sell them, whether you stake them, or whether you buy more. All of those things have a positive and negative effect on the future of the project. And so I just want to communicate that to you guys, that the power really is in your hands. And this isn't me trying to shift power and like, oh, it's up to you guys now. No, I'm all about, and I will be. I have no plans to not make content every day, to not do spaces, to not make decisions for this project. And I'm very confident that I'll be able to do this for the next year after we launch, for the full year. And then after that, we can reevaluate if we wanted to add some kind of utility for the second year or something new and unique for the second year. I still have all kinds of plans. I don't want this to come across as like I'm trying to pull back from any kind of responsibility or work in any way, shape, or form. But it also is super important that you guys realize that it's up to you guys as well. We all have a certain amount of control when it comes to the future of the project. And so the effort, what you do with your tokens is big, right? If you're holding, if you're staking, if you're in the staking pools, that's the most best thing you could do for the future of Control Token is enter the whale pool, is enter the 12-month staking pool. Now it's up to you to do what you want. I'm just saying the more that the community knows that there's so much value of the supply in the 12-month staking pool, that's going to alleviate fear of a lot of sell pressure, and it's going to create this confidence where they know, oh, if those people do leave, they're going to be paying the unstaking fee and the sell fee and forfeiting their rewards. And so it actually creates this situation where there's confidence either way. There's confidence that if you stay, you're not selling, and there's confidence that if you leave, you're forfeiting a ton of value. And so it's up to everybody to do what they want with their bags, but ultimately I just believe in truth, and I think that you should be truthful. And so when we're talking about why this project can do really well, it's going to come down to you guys understanding that the more you guys hold, the more you stake, the more you commit, the more you affect the entire sentiment of the community as people are coming in or looking. And then everybody's going to be understanding this and communicating it to them. Hey, you guys are new to the project. Look how much of the supply is staked. If this supply leaves, they have to do the unstaking fee and they forfeit their rewards, and they're probably going to sell, so they're going to be paying that 20% as well. And so it's kind of just created what I see as this amazing opportunity and this is the best picture I can think of. I'm sure there's a much better one, but it's like a very slow pitch, and the community, you've been handed the bat, and it's up to us to just hit one of the easiest balls out of the park. You've got this project that is shifting real preserved value into the future that appreciates and that is positively affected when people leave. That's an amazing system to have in place, and I know that everybody here is here because of that. You're not here because, oh, Crypto Control has a project. You're here because you heard the idea out and you think it's a great idea, right? And it's a great idea. It's like, oh, how many projects have all of you guys seen? Tens of hundreds to thousands of projects. This one stands out as being something unique. I believe in most of our eyes. And, even when I went to Bitcoin Nashville and I was talking to people about the project, and this is not me being able to break it down, because really, in order to break this project down, you kind of do need 30 minutes to hours to sit there and just get it through their head. I don't even think that, I don't think Mark has grasped how big this project is. I think the reason that he was surprised at the pre-sale is because he doesn't see the vision of the project. And I think that it might take some time for him to be like, okay, maybe this is a really good idea. The effects of shifting permanent value into the future. There's so many positive effects of doing that. The sentiment, the sell-offs, the protection from sell-offs, rewarding everybody who keeps the project alive. Usually you punish everybody who doesn't keep the project alive. Now we're actually rewarding them with real value. Creating a sense of confidence in the future. Sentiment is everything. And so giving everybody that sense of confidence that real value is being stored up in the future, the effect that this can have, the people that this can draw in, people who just want to sit and hold on stuff. There's a lot of people who think that way. I just want to buy something and hold. There's a ton of people out there who want this project and they don't know about it yet. And so when it comes to the control of the project, I really think it's just communication. I think the key to the success of this project, which I want for you guys, which you guys want as well, is going to be communication. And the more we all understand the vision of what was going to cause this project to be what we want it to be, a top crypto, I personally think 100 million in volume would be amazingly successful for this project. I wouldn't want to stop there, but I would at least feel like we accomplished something if we hit 100 million in volume within the first year. And so Obviously we'd want to go as high as possible. Yeah, hundreds of million in volume if possible. And if projects like Evergrow within 3-4 months were able to hit 500, 600 million in volume, then I think it's totally possible that if we can get the same kind of momentum with Control Token, that we could see billions in volume a year. Not a month or a day, but a year. If you have 100 million in volume a month, then you're going to hit 1.2 billion. So if we can, if shifting value into the future helps keep the sentiment alive, helps incentivize new all-time highs and more volume, then I think it's totally, and especially if it causes it to grow into the 6-month event, into the 12-month event, then like I said, this could be one of the highest, or it could be the highest reward project ever created, because it incentivizes volume. All of these things, so many positive implications just from shifting value and preserving it in the future. Now that's in theory, right? We're about to find out how well this works and how united the community is in the growth. But that's why it's kind of my goal and job is to unite you guys in the growth of the project, And any of you guys always feel free to message me. I'm just a regular dude. I'm not some prophet or CEO or any wizard or genius. I'm none of those things. I'm just an average guy living an average life, play games with my wife. We want to have kids. I have all the problems that everybody else has. I don't want to turn this into something that it shouldn't be, which is idolizing somebody or causing a bunch of people to believe an idea that's not true and that they're going to be super rich based off of something that causes them to just be exit liquidity. And so we can have that confidence in this project to let people know that the price, that's kind of one of the crazy things about this project is when the price tanks, it becomes a great opportunity to make a math video about this new price point is always going to be a positive thing in the potential entry point for those rewards, unless the price goes so far up that those rewards, getting a good bag for those rewards becomes hard. And then it would be a bad thing, right? In one perspective, oh man, it's so hard to get a good bag. But then what's the positive? But your bags are super high up. You know what I mean? So there's so many positives contained in this. I could rant about Control Token forever, and I enjoy doing it, and I plan on doing it. I plan on doing live streams, videos, spaces, posts. I'm going to share your guys' content. You guys are making content. I'm going to tweet that out. I'm going to share it. We're going to get that out there. And the community is going to get behind you and support it. Right now, the community is really strong, and we haven't even launched yet. The community is doing really well. As we launch, and if the price starts to do well, people are going to really start to really get excited about this project. They're going to really start to get behind it. And you can see, I've watched even small projects and the momentum they get and the excitement and the belief that you get in the beginning of a project when the price is going up. It's a very powerful thing that unites people and causes them to be very excited, and that excitement spreads, and it's usually just killed by the whales tanking the price. And so we have protection against that. And I think that my goal is just to unite you guys in the future growth of the project. You guys are the most important part of this project right now. Everybody who's a holder, especially if you're on the top holders list, if you're on the top 20, 30, 40, you really have control over the future of this project. Just by you committing to those staking pools or just by you holding, you are allowing the project to grow. And as you leave the project, you're hurting the project on the way out. And it's designed for that. I can't control you, but you guys just have to understand the more that all of you guys work together to grow this project, the higher it can go. And it's up to you guys to decide, how big do you want this project to be? Do you want it to, what market cap do you guys want it to hit? It's in your hands of the community. All I can do is explain the math, explain the vision, explain the excitement, explain all the positive impacts of it. And I plan on doing that because, I was kind of sitting there studying that. I was like, what would cause this project to succeed? The idea is good enough alone. It doesn't need anything else. The idea is that good. If other people don't see it, it's just that they don't see it yet. If other people think it needs something, they just don't see the idea yet. And so the hardest obstacles of this project is just going to be communication, and I enjoy communication. It's just as somebody willing to sit and listen to me rant for a long time about Control Token. I think that I think some people are and some people aren't. But the hardest part is a little bit of the complexity of the tax system, because it is a little much. It's not bad, but I need to really create something that makes it so simple to understand that even a kid can understand it. It's really not that hard. You have monthly, 6-month, and 12-month rewards. You also have whale rewards, and then you have unstaking fees, and all the unstaking fees go towards the 12-month rewards. In order to get in the whale pool, you have to stake at least 1.2 something million tokens into the 12-month pool. And when you do that, you automatically qualify for those whale rewards. After you do that, you make sure you have the right amount, because if you don't, then you'll have to unstake and then add to it. But the fees are a little bit, I've seen people get a little, like disoriented by explaining, well, you've got your monthly fees, but when you get your 6-month fees, you also get the 1 month on the 6th month at the same time. And then on the 12th month, you get the 1 year, the second 6th month, and the last 1 month rewards. Now, that doesn't sound that complex, but it kind of is a word salad. That's why I made that one chart. But I really think when it comes down to it, us as a community, it's going to come down to what you do with your tokens and how you market this. It's in the hands of everybody. We all need to, the more that we all hold, the more that we all stake, the more that you're working towards growing the project, and that's what the value is going towards rewarding you. That's why I tell you, keep you could keep a strategy to have a part of your bag for selling, so that you don't feel like you miss out on that opportunity as well. I don't want people to regret anything because they didn't have the right perspective or information. I don't want to mislead people into staking. But everybody needs to understand, in order for the project to grow, the more we commit to that staking, the better the sentiment of everybody can feel about the future of the project, and the more likely it is to see the kind of growth and success that you want to see for the project. So yeah, the control is in your guys' hands when it comes to what you do with your tokens, how you choose to market. If you've got time for a post, if you make content, that's super helpful. Making content, make videos on these numbers, that's super helpful. Anybody who makes math videos, by the way, anybody can make these math videos. It's like middle school math or less. It's so easy. It's not hard math. It's not even high school math. It's just understanding the equation, and then you're good. Math videos are very powerful. If we had a community of people making math videos on this, that's where people get excited, when they start to see numbers, when they start to see possibilities, whether it be on the price points or whether it be on the rewards. Both of those things are exciting. It's also just super exciting to have videos that explain the psychology and the sentiment and the positive effect and the hedge and the protection against sell-offs and the rewarding people who keep a project alive and pulling away from the people who destroy the project. That message is going to resonate with every single person who, with most people. Like, you either have to be not believing in it because you're a bad actor and you're one of the people who wants to take advantage of people who believe those things, or I don't know. I think that some people just don't understand it, or out of pride they just don't like it. Most people, out of your experience in DeFi of being pump and dumped and rugged and all that jazz, this message is going to resonate with them. And that's there's a massive market of people out there, I believe, looking for a project like Control Token, and I don't think a project like this has been done before. That's why I think it's the perfect time where, and this is kind of what I was trying to say in that video that I made that was 20 minutes long, where you have everybody is used to things being so bad with how a liquidity pool works, that if you even gave them something that kind of balanced it, I think they'd go crazy. The fact that projects can go crazy with such an unbalanced system and giving so much power and so much rewards to such a small group of people that basically get to take profits, and that whatever narrative you attach to that, everybody else became exit liquidity. I think that something like this could be really massive. Obviously, you guys do too. Now, I can't guarantee that, and I don't think we should sit back and just be like, it's good. I think we all have to come together, and we got to make this happen. Maybe it would happen with all of us sitting back, just based alone by the psychology of how it happens when people buy and sell and people paying attention to the rewards. Maybe it would require zero marketing at all, but let's not treat it that way. Let's treat it as if it's dependent on us and putting in that marketing. So yeah, the control that you have with your tokens, control you have with anybody who's willing to put in marketing, make posts, make content, TikTok content, live streams, Twitter spaces. And then the last thing is at least engage with stuff. If you don't have time to make marketing, to make a post, to do a Twitter space, to make a YouTube video, to make a TikTok video, then at least engage with it. Like stuff, share stuff, comment on stuff. There's no excuse for anybody to not do that. And I made this example last time in one of the spaces or videos I made, where imagine that we're all sitting there and we all want to watch this thing succeed. And you have a couple people pulling this rope and they're pulling up, a treasure chest or something, and everybody wants what's inside the treasure chest on the side off the cliff. But there's only 2 or 3 people that are pulling that rope, and other people are just sitting there and watching them. And so the more active everybody gets, the better. Anybody who takes the mindset of I'm not going to do anything, I'll let everybody else do it. Everybody who takes that mindset is basically sitting there and watching all of us work and pull that thing. Now you're still helping by staking your tokens. You're still helping by what you do with that. But if at least engage with content, at least show up to these things, at least share this with people. If you think it's a good project, share it with people, tell people about it. Because you might have people come to you and say, why did you not tell me about this? I promise you, that's the things you got to do in life is, why didn't you warn me about this bad thing? And why didn't you warn me about this good thing? People are going to come to you with that. If you have knowledge of something good or bad, then there's this level of accountability where that's why I tell my family, I was like, hey, I'm letting you guys know. It's up to you to decide. I'm not trying to pressure you. And a lot of people think, it's kind of weird, a lot of people sometimes think that I'm trying to get them in the project for my benefit. And I was like, no, like this is purely for your potential benefit. I don't, I'm not in a position of needing any single person to be in the project, but I just think it could be a good opportunity for you. And I stayed at the hotel in Nashville. I started talking to one of the bell guys who was bringing my luggage up, helping me bring my luggage up. And I just started explaining to him what's going on. And I told him how to get in the project and I explained to him what it was about. Because I really do think that it could just be something small like that that helps change somebody's life. If something like this does really well, then, I told a ton of people about Evergrow. And I remember telling some guy, I watched this guy at Quick Trip, he bought a lottery ticket, and I just felt bad for him because I remember when I used to buy lottery tickets and just how the odds are crazy stacked against you. And I was like, hey man, you should check out this project Evergrow. I don't know if he ever bought again, but if he did, I'm pretty sure that he would have made a profit at that point. So it's just one of those things where you can feel more confident telling people about Control Token because of that worst case scenario. You'd be honest with people. Don't mislead people. 13% of buys, 18% of sells are being converted to stablecoin and stored up in the future. 85% of all buys are going into the liquidity pool. And then when people go to pull value out of the liquidity pool, they can only ever pull out a fifth. Because a fifth of what they pull out, they can only ever pull out 4/5 because a fifth of what they pulling out is being converted into those stablecoin rewards. So technically, yeah, the whole value is being pulled out, but a fifth of the value being taken out of the LP is also going towards those rewards. And so that's a really awesome idea that almost a third of the value that would typically only go to the LP and be rewarded to the sellers at the top is being shifted into the future. And because it's being permanently stored up in the future, with sideways action or with pump and dumps, the value can become a lot. Now that value is being shared amongst a lot of people. It's not just when you sell. That's another big thing is, well, the LP, when you sell, that's only the people that sell. Well, the project's basically selling for the people that keep the project alive by converting it into a stablecoin. The project's selling for you and it's storing it up in the future. And, in an impactful way. I wish I could play with higher numbers than this. It's just people. There's no way people would get into this, or even potentially, how well that would run. Those transactions would run with such a high tax. If you had done 25, then you'd have like half the value going into the. How crazy of an idea is that? But that number would definitely scare people off. So I feel like 15, 20 is like a perfect number to not be intimidated by. Maybe we can mess with numbers like that in the future. Anyways, guys, yeah, so I want to be transparent with you guys. I want to communicate honestly. I don't want you to get ideas that aren't there. Like, I'm not going to do that with SafeMoon or other projects where my goal is just to hype you guys up and then forget about you and just make you think that it's my job to make you guys super hype, but not actually care about you or your value or the future of the project. My goal is to grow this project so it does well for you guys, and so it does well for my family, and so it does well for me, right? Obviously, I have something to gain in this project, but my goal for this project is to be a top project. If it's not, then I will consider it a failure, I don't want to blame it on the markets because obviously Bitcoin's way down right now. I still think Bitcoin's going to come back, but you just never know. I think most of us do lean towards we're going to a new all-time high. There's always these bear market posters saying Bitcoin's dead. We're in the bear market. It's over, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, dude, there's no way the bull market was 70K. What that it went just barely past the last bull market. That's not a bull market. So anyways, yeah, I'm probably going to end that there, and I'll leave it to any questions that you guys might have. I'll read the YouTube comments, and I'll open up the Twitter side of things. I'm not going to really have any more information in regards to really anything other than what we went over with Mark and whatnot. And yeah, I just look forward to working on this project for a year, marketing this with you guys, communicating with you guys. I think just the biggest key here is communication, and I think we have that really good here. So if anybody wants to come up on the Twitter side of things, you can. I'm going to go ahead and start reading some YouTube comments, and I'll probably end that here. And then we'll start doing these AMAs. We'll be having the price going as well. We'll be having the rewards going as well. We'll be having the website up. And then I do have something planned maybe a month or two from now that I'm going to tell you guys about. But I really need to see how well we do. It kind of depends on how well we do. We're probably doing it no matter what. It's just that I might not do those plans if we do really bad, but I don't see any reason why we should do really bad. I think, like I said, if you follow me, it's because you think like me, maybe not in every way, but in some way. You probably wouldn't be following me if you didn't agree with me. And so I think a lot of us, we just do want to see a project grow. We want to see something big. We want to see something long-term. We want to see something that benefits more people than just the people at the top. So those are the kind of holders that we've attracted from what I can see. I think that's most of what we brought in. It's possibly brought in some people who are just looking to do a quick pump and dump. Like I said, we got protection against that, the buy fee, the sell fee, forfeiting their rewards. So as long as most of us are united in the future growth of the project, I think we're in really good hands. And I think success is a lot more likely compared to every other crypto that I've ever seen. I'm going to go ahead and read the YouTube comments. Go ahead and raise your hand on Twitter if you have anything you want to say, anything you want to ask. Definitely come up. Alrighty. If you commit to the 12-month staking and you've completed the full duration, do you automatically get unstaked, or do you have to do it manually? Me and Mark talked about both options. I think he would have to create a bot to make it auto unstake you. But I'll have to double check with him what he decided on that. If it's manually, does that mean you will remain staked and can unstake any time in the future without a penalty? No, it wouldn't work that way, I don't think. Or you wouldn't be getting rewards and then be able to unstake whenever. You wouldn't just have this infinite stake with no penalties. You'd have to re-enter the staking pool to get those yearly rewards again. Is there an advantage to staking from a year from day one? Yeah, the advantage, dog, CT dog on YouTube, is if you stake, which I will be doing, and I think many of us will be doing at the beginning for the 12-month pool, you're going to be getting the extra 1% if you have at least 1.2 million tokens. It's a little over 1.2 million tokens. If you have at least that much in the 12-month pool, you'll be getting an extra 1% of volume that only goes to people that have at least that 1.2 million tokens and are staked. So an extra 1% of volume that only gets shared amongst those people. You're also going to be getting large portions of the unstaking fees for whales and for regular stakers is going to go towards the 12-month rewards that's only for the whales. So there's also this unstaking fees that goes towards this special pool. Not only do you get this extra 1%, but you also get this extra separate pool that's only for the the whales, that is fueled by the unstaking fees from the whales and unstaking fees from regular stakers at the end of that 12 months. So it's like this extra heavy incentive to be in the whale pool and to make it to that 12 month, because not only is there the rewards that built up for the whole year, rewards that built up for the last 6 months, rewards that built up for the last month, rewards that built up for the last 3 months for the whales, the regular unstaking fees that go towards everybody, and then this special unstaking fee as well as a reward. So there's a lot of rewards for a whale that could potentially become very big, depending on how the project does at the end. So after you get those, if you stake early, you'll be able to sell without an unstaking fee right after the control event if you want to. You'll be able to sell, or you can decide if you just want to restake that amount of tokens. But you'll be able to sell without an unstaking fee. So instead of that 30% fee, you just have the 20% sell fee. You'd be able to get 80% of whatever your bag is. If it's 100 grand, you'd be getting 80. If it's $1 million, you'd be getting 800 grand. And you can do the numbers on that. It's pretty easy. One advantage is sooner you stake, the sooner you can unstake. That's right. You're right about that. Macaroni and cheese. Maxaroni and cheese. Also, if you stake for the 12-month, you're automatically eligible for the 1-month and 6-month rewards. Yep, when you stake in the 12-month, you're going to get all of the 1-month rewards, all of the 6-month rewards as well. And like I said, if you have that 1.2 million tokens, you're going to be getting that extra 1%, and you'll be getting all of the unstaking fee rewards, which is really cool. Health as well, so start taking care of yourself. I'll be praying for you more than I have been. Thanks, man. Yeah, I used to smoke a lot, and I smoked a ton of weed. I vaped a lot. I used to drink, not heavily, but I've quit all that stuff. I haven't smoked weed in a long time. I haven't vaped in a long time, and my health has just kind of steadily kept getting worse, so I think there's something wrong with me. Regular sauna time, it helped with my high blood pressure tons. ACC will second year still cost 1.2 million tokens. I know if the price goes up, 1.2 million tokens will be way more expensive to get, but what would 0.2 people be for the minimal whale wallet at all times? That'll probably just be, the 1.2 is pretty low, I feel like, so it's probably just going to stay there forever. Anybody who wants to get into the whale pool, if we do a 10x, it's going to cost, around 10 grand to get that 1.2 million tokens. It's such a cool thing when I get to make these math videos and I get to talk about the cheapest price to have guaranteed profit from the rewards if the price goes down enough. That's such a cool thing to have. And to also have, if you want to get in the whale pool, this is how much it costs. If there's a dip, there might be a lot of people that are thinking, if I get this many tokens, I could put that with these tokens and I could get in the whale pool. So there's so many cool aspects to the demand on the token. If we did 100x and large money was looking at this project, in order to get in that whale pool, you got to put 100 grand in to get that amount of tokens, or you have to keep your eye on the project and hope for a dip. So there's this potential for so much demand on a sell-off. It's crazy. The implications this could have on a project could be insane. Hey CC, the second you lost 1.2 million tokens, another price goes. Okay, I already read that one. So guys, what's up, Salt Beef Pudding? I like the staking with the stable coin. Staking and receiving rewards in the same token makes the coin token inflationary, decreasing its own value. Oh yeah, it's like it's a gimmick to reward people. If I was storing up the token for you guys, the whales would devalue it and they'd be worthless by the time you got them. If you're rewarding the token, it's a terrible. Any project that rewards in the same token is a terrible idea. It just makes the whale stronger. So this is a very simple idea, but it has so much power to it. We're now going to go to Sam on Twitter. If Twitter will work. Hey, Sam, how's it going, man? Just got to unmute your mic there. There you go. There you are.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Yeah, every time you put me on, something else has to happen. Anyway, Cece, I am fascinated how just strong and confident and easily you talk about your health and everything. I really hope you're gonna feel better. Everything's gonna be great. I have a simple question about website. When it comes to website, is it going to be like live updating type of website, or you have to type in to see what's going on? Like a national debt of US has a website where it constantly updates everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it like that kind of a website, or just if you can tell us a little bit about website?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that would have been a good question for Mark, and I could double check it with him, but I think it should be pulling the rewards in real time and updating them in real time. And then you have a calculator. So people were asking for some of this stuff, and I guess that people are coming in later and they don't quite realize what we already have planned for the website is the rewards will be showing the 1 month, the 6 month, and the 12 month are going to be on the site, which that's an awesome thing that you can just go in there and see those rewards. Yeah. And then you have a calculator that you can pull out, type in any amount of tokens, your amount, 1.2 million, 5 million. For some of you guys that are whales, I don't even know how many tokens you got quite a lot. And it'll show you how much rewards you'll get based on the current amount of rewards for that. And then you'll know that you only have more time between when the month finishes, that 6 month finishes, and that 12 month finishes before those rewards to go up. So those are a couple things we looked at. We also need I'm going to talk to Mark about having the ability to show the staking. We might have to completely redo the website, not before we launch, but we might, just because the treasury is so good now. I might also look at, while we have this website running, is just getting an even better one going, and they can just flip it out whenever it's ready. But this one's good right now. It shows the countdown to the 12-month event. It looks kind of cool how I wanted it to, and it shows the monthly, 6-month, 12-month, and you've got the calculator. And then other than that, it's just going to have videos and some information on it and a link to the white paper and the socials. It's not going to be too crazy. But the rewards is kind of the biggest part of it, and then having videos so that when you point people to the site, you know, we need videos there. So I got to get a new video ready for when we launch, because I got to have, most of my videos were focused on the pre-sale. So now I need a video that's focused on launch and where we're at, and I got to come up with an idea and script it and work on it. It takes me a long time to edit some of these videos, so I want to have a really good video ready for when we launch.
Okay, great. Thank you. Hope you feel better, man.
Thanks, Sam. Yeah,
Pray over you.
I appreciate that. Yeah, man. I don't want to communicate that to like, oh, you know, to like people to feel
I
bad.
like how
Or,
transparent you are. You're saying everything straight up, and even talking about like backup if anything happens. Hey, listen, all this project is in your hands, in the community's hand, and I'm here with you guys. But and you're just very open, and I like that. This is gonna go very far. I really appreciate it.
awesome. Thanks, Sam. I appreciate the support, man. Yeah, the only reason I bring that up is just so you guys know what's going on. It's kind of, I don't even like talking about this because it's so freaking dark, and I don't know what's going on. I just know what I feel. But I even talked to my wife about like, hey, if something happens to me, I told her the only request I have for her if something happens to me is that she read her Bible. That's the only thing I want for her. So, but you just never know, and I don't plan on giving up. You know what I mean? I've been fasting like 18 hours fasting and then eating. I'm cutting out carbs and sugar. That's supposed to be really good for you. I've been eating meat. I've been standing out and getting sun, trying all kinds of things. And if I just keep getting worse, I'm just gonna have to start going to the doctor and see if they can figure out what it is. But I'm just communicating that to you guys just so you know where I'm at, and so you know that I might have a day where my chest is bothering me and I can't be dealing with anything. I'm just trying to get my chest to calm down, or I'm trying to get I'm in a lot of pain or something. I'm sure there's people here who have health issues like this, maybe not as bad or maybe worse. And that just sometimes you're just shut down. You can't focus on anything but what you're going through. Hopefully because I did the carnivore diet probably about a year or two ago. And man, once I got consistent on it and I cut out all that sugar and it was just meat every day, I was feeling good. And the issues weren't really coming back. So if I can get back to that, I think I can be good and have even more energy and more clarity in my thinking, which would be really good for the project as well. That's what I'm aiming to get to right now. What's going on, BM?
What's going on? A shameless plug for the Whale Wednesday for crypto, or for Control Token here.
Awesome.
I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that every Wednesday. It'll be 7 or 8 o'clock. I'm not sure yet. I'm trying to get some technical issues. Brought someone up, it would fail. I'd get rugged on that. So, yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Is I'm just gonna commit to a Whale Wednesday every week, and we can talk about whatever we want.
That's exactly what we need. I'm so glad you've done that. You're like one of the first people to step up and do Control Token Spaces. And you might need to get a new phone, or you might need a new service provider or something. It could be your Signal, or make sure you have really good signal, or connect to Wi-Fi, something along those lines, just to ensure that the spaces are working properly. Because that might be what's affecting you. Because I try to join your spaces and they shut down super fast.
Yep, as soon as I try and bring somebody up. So I'm going to try and use a computer and go through Wi-Fi instead of my cell provider. It should go much better like that.
Awesome. Yeah, guys, make sure to follow BM if you haven't. And I think, we can have a really great community. You see how positive people are in a community, and it's like we get all of that, but we're going to be more realistic with each other. We're not going to be like maxis and turn on each other as soon as you don't believe in the project. If somebody stops believing in the project, that's fine. They're still a human being. You should still respect them or whatever. But yeah, the support that people can show you. I've been interested in seeing those spaces because BM likes to talk about the numbers. He's already ran a lot of these numbers, and he's seen how exciting it can be. And I don't even think that we all have looked at how exciting these numbers can be. Obviously, the one that I did where I talked about 5 million tokens, which that was a mistake on my part. by talking about such a high number, because the numbers for that were absolutely ridiculous. They're still crazy for 1 million tokens. With that kind of volume, it's still awesome, right? You could just divide all those numbers by 5, and getting 1 million tokens was only like $1,200 in the pre-sale, so not bad at all. And those numbers were crazy. I forget what they were. It was like 300 grand for the year. It was like 40 grand for the 6 month, and it was like what, 2, 3, 4 grand for the monthly. So you divide all that by 5. That's still insane to have that permanent value plus the ability to sell your token. And I think that's where all of this is going to be about, communicating. And it's the main thing about communicating this message to people is to see it in light of the rest of DeFi. You have to keep comparing this back to what DeFi is, because people might see, if you see things as too good, then you might be upset that the price has gone up and you can't get as many rewards, or that more people are staking and you get less rewards, and things can get so good that you don't see how great you got it or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You guys know what I'm trying to say. And so it's going to be super important to keep reminding people, like, look what the rest of DeFi has done to you. Look how in a taxless token you just wouldn't get anything, and what the people would rug you. And so you've got this sense of safety, transparency, and you've got this sense of actually having a community that can be united in the growth of the project. That's really one of the biggest themes of this project, is we all can actually be united in growing this project, instead of only pumping our bags to selling. You know what I mean? So obviously I could rant about Control Token for a long time. I don't think you guys want to hear me do that today. You probably do. I don't know. But BM, did you have anything else for us? You've been looking at those numbers anymore, man? You looked at any more numbers?
No, they're all the same. I mean, the math is the math. It is what it is. I want to see live numbers. I want to see volume. I want to see price. It's not really much to talk about until we see some data.
Oh, yeah.
I'm really curious to see how fast this pool is going to grow. And I more I think about the unstaking fee being sold into XUSD, that's fine, because you preserve the value, and plus you're also front running the sale, because I'm assuming that the unstaking fee is going to be sold as soon as that's assessed, and then that'll be locked away in the pools for the rewards, and basically front run 30% of the person's bag before he gets to sell. So that may even delay the sale longer. I don't know if you can hear me.
No, yeah, I'm just listening.
Okay. Nope. That's one way I was thinking about it. I'm like, it's not bad. It still preserves the value at a higher price, so you're actually getting more XUSD at the time of unstaking than during a sale. See what I'm saying? It's just the way it's going to work out, because it's going to cause a red candle, which is fine. As long as that value is preserved into the future, we're good.
No, yeah, I meant to be able to look at the charts and to know that, when you look at the charts, that 13% of all the buys coming in, or I guess it'd be hard to gauge, I guess, but yeah, because 13% of it is being sold as the buys are happening into XUSD. And so, but to know that, yeah, a fifth of the sales on the chart are going into permanent value in the future. And it's so important to communicate this and to communicate those rewards to and everybody coming into the project is going to know that. They're going to know, hey, why does the price look like this? And they'd be like, yo, dude, do you know what the rewards are? Have you looked at the rewards in the future? And then that's where I think it's, because most people just look at, charts, but with this one, you're going to have to look at the rewards in the future. And for that to be just right on the front of the website, right when you scroll down a little bit, you see that. That's super cool. And to know the price and then how many tokens, right there you can do the calculation. Oh, I can get this many rewards if I buy this many tokens, and this is how much it costs. And so everybody can kind of figure out a plan on if they want to enter the project, how much they want to spend to get however many tokens they want based on where the price is at, to chase those rewards or to chase profits as well. This is what I would say is, I try to encourage people to be open to both those things. Taking profits. I wanted to make something where people could take profits as well. And whenever I was focusing in, I've said this a couple times, on when I really first started thinking about this project, I was focused in on why do projects not blow up? What stops them from blowing up? That those first month, first week, first couple weeks, first couple months where the price really goes insane. That's what I was focused on. I was like, how do you get that to go much higher? And so that was kind of the moment of what this project was focused on, is allowing for that upward momentum to reach its potential, whatever that might be, or much higher than what it typically does. And so when it comes to, this is my understanding of the project at this point, when it comes to securing the future of this project, getting that consistent volume, really all of it is dependent on how high we go up in the beginning, because that's the easiest time to go for a project to explode. And so if the whole community understands that, then you can understand that, after that initial pump or whatever it is, then I would see it as free game, as like, do whatever you want with your tokens. You can, and obviously I can't tell you what to do with your tokens, but I'm saying in terms of what you want to do for the project to grow. If you want the project to grow, the more we all hold, the more we enter the staking pool, the better the project's going to do. But if we see a massive run up from there, it doesn't matter what people do, because if you're selling, you're massively fueling those rewards. Sells don't really matter up until that point, is what I'm trying to communicate. They do matter for a period of time, but if we can get that momentum and really go to the moon, blow up, if everybody can be on board about that, and the more people that come in understand that, when the price starts to go, it goes, man. It's like that pre-sale. Pre-sale went from 100, 200 BNB to 300, 400, 500, 600, 700. It's like, holy cow. It's like that, when the price starts to go, people get excited. And we have like extra elements of excitement to Control Token that no other project has. We have this sense of safety, of security with that future value, with knowing that what whales are staked, with knowing that the whales want to be staked. We have this demand on the token. If the price goes too low, there's this, you could just literally buy and have more in rewards than you're paying if it goes down enough. And then we have the demand on the whale token. There's so much that goes into this project, but the only moments that really matter, the rest of it I believe will work itself out naturally. The most important crucial part is this beginning, and the higher we go, the better, because if we start to come back down because people take profits, whether it be you guys or whether it be somebody else, it won't matter at that point, because so much value will be permanently storing up in the future, and it'll incentivize more volume. People will want to buy those dips while people take profits. It can get to a point where it causes us to go to a new all-time high, or it causes us to go on another run, because there's this permanent future value that's incentivizing all of this action on buying the token and allowing for people to sell the token. So I don't want to persuade people to not sell at all. It's totally up to you guys. I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm just going to go into the 12-month pool, and then maybe I'll buy some more if there's a dip at some point. But after that run up, I say as a community, take it as high as you can as a community. It's up to you guys. But through your control that you have on the token, the marketing, and how you engage with each other, the connections that you have, all of that combined, and uniting you guys in the future growth of the project like it hasn't been done before, with a message that hasn't been done before. I mean, I think we've got it, guys. I really do think that we've got something special, and I think success it's not like most projects. I think when you start a project, you're just hoping people don't sell off, and they always sell off, and the project dies within a day, 2 days, weeks, months. It doesn't matter what you do to it. The community can't be united in it. And so I've removed so many things that cause projects to die, from the bad actors to the giving yourself tokens, to the giving other people tokens, to the access to the LP, all that stuff. And then I've created something on top of that that really incentivizes the growth and allows us to actually be united. So I feel very confident about this project, and if all I have to do is keep communicating this message in new and unique ways while paying attention to the charts, I'm confident I can do this all day long. I could talk about Control Token all day long and explain it to people, and the impacts of this. I'm super excited about it, and really the stuff that I don't create projects, and I'd rather not. I wish I had some second-hand man to do all of the crypto stuff, as like creating the project and doing this and making the white paper and doing that. Like I'd rather not do all those things. I'd rather just be the marketer or the live streamer or the communicator. I kind of wanted to design this project to get to a point where I could only do that, so I wouldn't have to focus on all these other things. I still don't mind, leading in some aspect when it comes to like website and stuff like that, and having to do all that stuff. I'd rather not have to do all that, but I am having to do a lot of that stuff right now as far as paying attention to the website and doing all this stuff and kind of running the project. I'd rather just be, it would be nice if a certain individual who I trusted, came into that opportunity to do that. But I think everybody probably feels confident right now with me running it and not, having somebody else that they don't know too well in the project. So that's fine. You just have to know that I haven't done projects before. I haven't done a pre-sale before. I haven't done a launch before. I haven't done a listing. This is my first time doing all of these things, and I'm relying on Mark for it. He's done a lot of these things before, but it also means that I'm in ground where I'm not familiar with or confident in when it comes to certain things. When it comes to the marketing in the project, I'm fully confident in that, and I think that's all we need to succeed. But when it comes to some of these other things, it's my first time. I might make mistakes. I might oversee something, or some things might just be a little sloppy and not as professional as what you guys might want it. Other than that, that's the final thing I would say is a lot of projects put a lot of focus on things that don't actually affect the price. They're spending tons of money on billboards and utilities and people and spaces and all this stuff, and looking amazing and all this stuff, and none of it affects the price. And so it's like, well, you're not affecting the value of the people, so none of that stuff really matters. You know what I mean? And so that's where I'm like, projects can blow up with literally none of that stuff. Some of these things that's gone on in crypto, the least amount of effort sometimes that has gone into making a project has been some of the most successful projects. And then other times people will pour businesses and money and all kinds of resources into a project, and it won't do well. So it's crazy to recognize that in this kind of space. And that's where I think we just have a unique idea at the right time, and that this project can be something that does really well for everybody. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's space. If anybody else wants to come up, I'll do a last call on the Twitter side of things. I'm going to read a couple more YouTube comments. I'm going to jump off. Hope you guys have a great weekend. And like I said, I'm on Twitter. It's at CryptoControl3. That's always going to be hilarious that I had to get 3. And shoot me a DM about anything. I'll respond. If I don't respond, it's just because I'm busy, or I'm doing something with my wife, or I'm having health issues, or I'm just relaxing. Sometimes I don't get to everybody, but typically you shoot me a message about something, I'll do my best to respond to you guys. Everyone, just to be honest, I'm an OG and don't know much about X, Twitter, Discord, but I try to listen. Okay, cool. I think we're pretty much good. Mitch Bromwell, thank you for the $1 donation. I appreciate that, guys. Yeah, I really appreciate all you guys, and I look forward to working with you guys to make this project, what you guys want it to be. And that's just going to be me putting out content daily, doing live streams, doing spaces. It's just going to be all of us going overdrive on the marketing. And if the price goes up, it's going to make our message a very loud message. It's going to be easy to share this message if the price is going up. Now, I can't legally talk about price predictions, but I'm just saying, as the price goes up, our message gets louder. If people go and they look at the chart and they see the rewards, then that can do really well. And like I said, as long as everybody understands the mission on where we're at, we just need to go as high as we can in the beginning. Because that all the way up, 13% all the way up, is going towards that permanent future. And then as we come down, if we come down, as you guys are taking profits, as other people are taking profits, it's massively fueling that future as well, which creates massive incentive to go on another run. And from that point on, you have this excitement leading up into the 6-month event. After that 6-month event, then we've got the excitement leading up into the major event, the unstaking fees, the 12-month, the 6-month, the 1-month, the whale pool, all built up, going into one big event. That's super exciting with the countdown on the website. It'll be, you know what I mean? That's why it's so important that if we secure this one thing as a community, if we cause it to happen, then the rest of it will happen. And like, think about the relief of something like that. And I'm not saying that we would just all stop doing anything, but if we go very high, then the future's secure. The future's secure. You've got the 6 months. Even if you had a massive sell-off, that 6 month is probably going to cause the price to go up for people that are chasing those 6-month rewards, plus the whale rewards. And then we have the 12-month, which is the biggest one. It's very likely to see our high volume and high action, potential high price action leading up into the 12-month event. As people are chasing those rewards, and what do you do to get those rewards? You got to stake tokens. Where do you get tokens to stake them? You got to buy them. What do you do when you buy them? You pay a fee into them. It's a crazy system we have, and it's really cool. I think it's genius, and especially for the time. You know what I mean? I feel like it's just the first person to think of this is the one that would have it done well. Sometimes it's not even the person that does it right, but it's just the person that does it first. And I think that we're doing it right and we're doing it first. So it was awesome hanging out with you guys, and I hope you guys have a great weekend. I'm going to go ahead and end this space, and I'll catch you guys later. You guys have a great day.